Another sign that spring is coming is the arrival of the first icebreaker in the Port of Thunder Bay.
A U.S. cutter was busy in the local harbor yesterday evening before leaving for Sault Ste. Marie just after sundown. Local port officials say they expect another icebreaker to come here to finish the job closer to the opening of the shipping season on March 25th. Jonathan Wilson has more.
The United States Coast Guard icebreaker Spar left its home port in Duluth and arrived in the local harbor late Tuesday afternoon. The ship and its crew focused the majority of their icebreaking efforts outside of the breakwall. This GPS track shows how it looped around several times and also broke a path through the ice at a pair of the entranceways through the breakwall. Port of Thunder Bay CEO Chris Heikkinen says they put in a request to the Canadian and U.S. Coast Guards, and he was surprised to see the Spar arrive this quickly.
It is a little earlier than we normally have our first ice-breaking asset in the port, probably by about a week or so. We did request some initial ice breaking in the harbor, and they kind of exceeded our expectations by getting here now.
Over the past few springs, the first icebreaker of the season to come to Thunder Bay was the Canadian Coast Guard's Samuel Risley. Some Thunder Bay residents were actually shocked to see a U.S. cutter come here due to the escalating trade war, but Heikkinen says the two Coast Guards are not embroiled in that dispute.
The Canadian and the U.S. Coast Guards have an agreement on the Great Lakes where they share the responsibility for breaking open the harbors in the spring, and for this round we got the U.S. Coast Guard Spar.
Okay, is that maybe a sign of good relations between Canada and the U.S., at least in that area?
You know what, the Seaway system, the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway system, is a binational system, and it is a really good example of great cooperation between these two countries.
When the Risley came last spring, there was hardly any ice to break up due to the record mild winter. And those ice conditions also allowed the Soo locks to open 3 days ahead of schedule on March 22nd. Heikkinen says with the colder winter this year, he expects the Great Lakes shipping season to go back to its normal March 25th start date, and he anticipates another icebreaker will come to Thunder Bay before then.
Yeah, the ice is about 22 inches thick, which is average for this time of year. So I'd expect that with the continued good weather and being able to have the icebreaking asset here now, that we'll still be on track for opening when the Soo locks open on the 25th of March. This Coast Guard Spar is here doing some initial icebreaking and also getting an assessment of the harbor while it's here. And if a larger icebreaker is needed, there'll be time to get that in ahead of the shipping season opening.
Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.